everyone, welcome to True Path Astrology. This is Rajni. Now, today I want to bring you this important episode of Jupiter, which is going to go back to the sign of Capricorn on September 14th. Now, Jupiter is currently in the sign of Aquarius. Now, why I say this is important is because Jupiter is a very big planet. Now, Jupiter, where it is placed in your chart, the placement of Jupiter and how it is placed in your chart. Where does Jupiter cast its aspect in your chart? Now, all these determines how one will progress in your life in general. So one thing of importance to note is wherever Jupiter sits in the chart, it is not going to be considered that good. Now, Jupiter is the most benefic planet out of all the planets, as we all know. It represents education, it represents wisdom, it represents expansion, it represents our dharma, wealth, children, prosperity, marriage, and even spirituality, and much more. Now, I'm sorry this video is going to be a bit long because I will first talk about what the Jupiter retrograde means and why it is important to know about its impact on each of the 12 signs, how it's going to impact us. Then I will talk about how this impacts each of the 12 signs in detail for you. So bear with me. We all know that Jupiter was in Capricorn in 2020, December 2020 as well. And I don't need to remind you of what we all experienced at that time. I don't want to go there. But now Jupiter is going to be going back to Capricorn again on September 14th. And then Jupiter will be retrograde there. And also this time Jupiter is going to have powerful Cheshtabal. So this time when Jupiter goes back to Capricorn and joins Saturn, many of us in different signs are going to be impacted in a powerful way. Now, usually astrologers, when predicting events of one's life, when they see a chart and they predict, they usually consider transits of Jupiter and Saturn as important planets to predict an event. And Jupiter takes approximately 12 years and Saturn takes 30 years to complete one's full zodiac cycle. Now, it's also a known fact that Saturn and Jupiter comes together once in approximately 20 years. So Jupiter this time, when it goes back to Capricorn and joins Saturn there, it will also be in a debilitated state. Now, Jupiter will remain in the sign of Capricorn until November 2021, which time Jupiter is going to redefine many of our lives in different area of our lives, still about November 20th, 2021. Now, whenever a planet is retrograde and goes back to a sign, that planet will bring about completion of some unfinished tasks from the past. Some things that may not have been resolved in the past will be completed, will come to fruition during this time of Jupiter's retrograde. Now, we all know that Jupiter was retrograde and was in the sign of Capricorn together with Saturn in 2020, and there could have been some unresolved issues at that time for some of you. So go back to 2020 and recall, if you'd like, what events happened and what unfinished tasks in your life were there at that time. And those very things are something that will come back to be completed again at this time. Now, I would say pick your birth chart and see where you have Capricorn sign falling in your chart and all the significations of that particular house where Capricorn sign is. That's what is going to come to play during this retrograde of Jupiter, if you're wondering how you're going to be impacted. Now, those areas of your life are going to be redefined for you. Now, you will get busy reevaluating those significations in the next couple of months, and you could revisit those things again, and you will be dealing with those things. Now, Jupiter represents wisdom, procedures, and our dharma. So coming together of Saturn and Jupiter means reevaluation of assessing your boundaries. Now, Saturn denotes time. It's a master of time. Now, changes in structure and organizations are represented by Saturn. Now, those are some of the things you will be dealing with during this time. Now, Jupiter is in Dhanishta Nakshatra. now when it's in Aquarius, and will remain in Dhanishta Nakshatra when Jupiter moves into Capricorn sign as well. So if you understand the significations of Dhanishta Nakshatra, then you will understand the whole scenario for you. Now, Dhanishta, let me explain what Dhanishta is quickly. Now, Dhanishta is ruled by Mars. Now, Dhan means wealth. Jupiter denotes wealth. Now, in fact, Jupiter happens to be the Karaka for the majority of the houses in the chart. Now, Jupiter is considered most benefic planet out of all the planets. Now, Jupiter gives the most points, which is 56 points in Ashtaka Varga. If you know what Ashtaka Varga is, Jupiter gives the most points. Now, Dhanishta's symbol is the two musical instruments. One is flute and one is the handheld hand drum, small hand drum. And both these two musical instruments are hollow from inside. Now, which goes to show that we could feel hollow during this time, and how we equip ourselves to get the energy from the universe and fill that energy within us will decide what we are going to be doing in the next 2 months. Now, close your eyes, and if you listen to the drums beating, you can feel the energy level gets triggered, and you will feel a kind of a beat, and there is energy that the sound of the drums produce that has an effect on you. There's a vibration that you feel around you when you hear the beating of drums. Now, whereas in flute, when you hear the flute sound, you feel attracted, you feel drawn to the sound of the flute, and there is an element of attraction in the flute sound. And also in both these instruments, you see there is a rhythm in the music, and that from the sounds from the flute and the drums. And this goes to show that there will be a need for all of us to stay in balance and keep within the rhythm in our lives. Now, in these 66 days of Jupiter retrograde, when Jupiter will be going retrograde, you could find yourself in a situation where multiple things in your life all at once may need attention, may need redefining, may need revisiting, and even reevaluation. Scandals could erupt, and Capricorn is power in general. So those in power will feel the impact at this time. Now, Saturn is our karma and Jupiter is our dharma. So when Jupiter will go back to Capricorn, Capricorn is an earth sign, and Jupiter will cast his aspect on two earth signs at this time, which are Taurus and Virgo. Now, Jupiter will cast his aspect on Rahu, and Rahu in turn will aspect Jupiter at this time. Now, Jupiter will also cast its aspect on Sun, Mercury, and Mars, which are now in Virgo. So Saturn and Jupiter in the earth sign, and through Jupiter, when Saturn will affect Taurus and Virgo signs, both earth signs, there is likelihood of mishaps related to earth, like earthquakes, landslides, or even accidents in the ground level. Not to forget, Jupiter and Saturn, from where it is placed, also has its seventh aspect to the Cancer sign. Now, Cancer sign is water sign, which means there could be mishaps related to water. That's also likely to happen. Now, Jupiter's quality is to expand things. Saturn's quality is to contract things. So two opposite effects. Imagine these two are also big planets, and these are slow-moving planets as well. And these two, when they come together, one wants to expand and one wants to contract. So we may see differences of opinion happening in a bigger level, like country level, humanity level in general, and even in individual levels, ultimately causing some tensions. Now, Capricorn represents North. Now, we could hear news of these sorts from the northern regions, wherever you live. Now, Dhanishta represents music and instruments. So retrograde Jupiter in Dhanishta means music industry related matters could come to forefront at this time, and we may see some revamping of the way the music industry is operating currently. Now, next time this conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter will take place, it will be in 2039. So now let us look at how the retrograde and debilitated Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn is going to play out for all the 12 signs. Now, I have time-stamped each of these signs in this video. So go ahead and press the timestamp for your sign and listen to that part if you don't want to listen to all of the signs and waste your time. So starting with Aries. Now for you, Aries, Jupiter goes retrograde in the sign of Capricorn in your 10th house. Now, Jupiter rules the 9th house and the 12th house. Now, if your father's health was unstable earlier, he will start to see some major improvements to his health at this time. Now, business owners will be able to see some forward movement in their business. They will be able to implement all their ideas at this present time and see their business progress in the right direction. And some of you may go to the extent of taking a bit of risks to make more money, and you will be beneficial at this time. Now, those in career, you will find that stagnancy, which you were experiencing in the past, will go away. And you could expect some possibility of some action around your career happening at this time. No more feeling of dullness related to the profession. Now, this is the time to reflect on the past mistakes you may have made related to your career and fix those mistakes. Now, by doing that, you will be right on track for progress in your career. Now, talking about relationship, family relationships, especially that were not so good, will start to improve at this time for you. Now, Jupiter aspects the 2nd house of wealth and 4th house of happiness around home. And it's also impacting the 6th house of illness, debt, and enemies. Now, which means there is a possibility of prosperity for you related to wealth related matters. Your happiness around your home environment will improve. And your health will see general improvement as well during this time. But some of you need to be careful about weight gain, and issues related to stomach problems could surface at this time. Now, moving on to Taurus. Now, Jupiter goes retrograde in the 9th house of your chart. Now, some of you could be inclined towards spirituality and will be more into meditation, more into your daily prayer routines. Those who have been unemployed in the past few months could find job opportunities, even if it's a part-time job. You will ultimately gain the confidence that, yes, you are able to ultimately start earning income through your job. Now, business will move forward as per your expectation, and your confidence will grow. This is for business owners. Now, make sure that you stay away from any illegal way of earning or doing anything illegal at this time, as you're sure to be trapped if you're careless. Now, your relationship with your family members will improve and will be amicable. And if you are into sports, be careful of sports-related injuries. That's very important. You will need to be a bit careful of your health too at this time. Utilize this period to reflect back and reevaluate the areas where you may have made some mistakes related to your relationship with your father or teacher, and fix those areas to bring about a stronger bond with them. Gemini. Now for you, Jupiter is retrograde in the 8th house, and Jupiter rules the 7th house, and Jupiter also rules the 10th house. Now, 8th house denotes longevity, sudden transformation, accidents, and delving deep into research work. Now, be careful of rash driving to avoid accidents. Now, business owners will reap good profit out of your business at this time. Now, you may face a situation where one of your family members could reprimand you for something you say or do to them at this time. Your love and romance will see new invigorated energy pumped into your relationship, bringing more excitement between the two of you. Married life for those already married will be good. Now, those in relationship, this is a great period for you to enjoy love life, and you will have several opportunities to buy new things for your home, but double check what you buy at this time, as there is a possibility of those things not working when you bring it home. Now, some of you may end up spending more than necessary on improving your home prosperity. I mean, home improvement, doing home improvement things. Now, spending on things is one thing, but if that thing is broken or not working, you could end up losing your money. So you need to be careful there. And some of you could undertake some short distance travels at this time. So moving on to Cancer. Now, Jupiter retrograde happens in your 7th house of partnership for you. Now, Jupiter rules the 6th house and 9th house, and Jupiter aspects the Ascendant. Now, 3rd house and the 11th house. Now, those of you who may have had a troubled married life or facing any sort of trouble in your love relationship in the past may find that things will start to improve for the better. Now, all those bitter backlogs will get cleared away, and you will start to see major improvements in your life, and marital relationships as well will improve. You could be instrumental in strengthening the confidence of your partner at this time. And this is a great time to reflect and reevaluate your relationship and fix all the past mistakes you may have made related to your relationship. Now, those of you in your own business, you will get lots of entrepreneurial ideas during this time, which you will do well if you try to implement those ideas. Now, when it comes to health matters, some of you could find issues with stiffness in your body, if you may, and you may want to consider doing some stretch exercises or get into some routine exercises. Travel is a possibility for some of you as well. Moving on to Leo. Jupiter ruling this 5th house and the 9th house will be placed in the 6th house for you. Jupiter is in the 6th house. So most important thing for you to consider this period is don't get into unnecessary arguments with others at this time, as there is a likelihood of some legal complications that could arise out of it. So be careful of acidity, weight gain, and issues relating to gas at this time. So do not spend money to impress others around you, I would say, as you may end up losing money or may come into a situation where you may have to seek loans. So those in career will do well, and you will utilize your skills and knowledge to apply that in your job, which will pay huge dividend to you in the coming months. Now, some of you could travel, do travel related to your work. Now, those who own property could make some deals basing your existing property and getting into some sort of schemes where you're sure to reap huge benefits. If you have had any differences of opinion with your spouse or in your existing relationship, be it marital or any other relationship, those differences could start to fade away during this period. Now you will start to see improvement in both your physical and mental health at this time. Now, this period is a great time to reflect on what you had decided that you will do for the improvement of your health earlier and what you did not do. So remember what you decided and what you didn't do. And this is the best time to fix those things and put them in action now in order for you to see major improvements in your health overall. Now, overall, there is bound to be great improvement in your lifestyle during this period, and you will see, I would say, overall prosperity in your life. Virgo. Jupiter is the ruler of the 4th house and 7th house, and Jupiter will be placed in the 5th house for you. Now, 5th house denotes children, your love life, education, and speculative matters. Now, those of you planning to have children, you may want to plan it after November 20th, 2021, as this may not be a good time for conceiving. Now, those who are already pregnant, I would say take good rest during this period and take care, and don't do any work that may be detrimental to your pregnancy. Now, those in love and romance could find this period a bit upsetting, and you may experience some disturbances in the relationships due to your words you may use at this time. Otherwise, you will be generally confident and luck will favor you, and you will see gain in many areas of your life. Now, those in business, if you have had some ideas to develop your business, this is the time when you will be able to implement those ideas to reap huge benefit and even good profit out of your business. And those who are in career or job, chances of you getting a promotion is very likely at this time. Now, one of your close family members could face some health challenges at this time, so you may want to watch out for that. This is a period when you want to reflect and reevaluate the mistakes you may have made related to your children or your love life, or it could even be related to your investments, the way you invest. So this is a great opportunity to fix those mistakes, and you can move forward successfully in those areas. And Jupiter retrograde is going to give you that opportunity during its retrograde. Now, moving on, Libra. Now, Jupiter rules the third and sixth house, and it is placed in the fourth house for you. Now, if your mother has been suffering from ill health in the past few months, she will see good improvements with some new solutions to her ailment. So take proper precautions and do not take any risky decisions regarding investment at this time, I would say. Now, those of you who had plans to start their own business or any new initiative, you will be successful in those ventures. But make sure you have a good strategy to back up your plans. Now, your common sense and the power of your research will help you succeed in the new initiatives you plan to take during this period. Now, those in career or job, you will do well. Now, those who are unemployed, this period will bring you some opportunities related to a new job for you. Now, you will be satisfied with the progress in your career. Now, some of you would undertake foreign travel at this time. And when we talk about relationships, all of your relationships will go well without any problems. As for health matters, as long as you keep your healthy routine, I would say, follow good protein rich diet, and there will not be any major issues you may have to face related to your health. So moving on, let's talk about Scorpio. For Scorpio ascendants, Jupiter rules the second and fifth house and will be placed in the third house for you. Now, third house denotes your siblings, your brothers and sisters, your neighbors, your courage, your efforts, and also dignity. Now, if you are in business with your life partner, you will see much progress at this time. Your efforts to multiply your wealth using your existing wealth will prove to be successful during this period. And some of you could put your line of credit that you have from your bank to good use at this time, by which you'll be able to create more money making more money. But do this with due diligence and take some expert advice, I would say, before you do it. Now, those of you who are in career, you may have to wait a bit longer for that promotion you were wanting. Now, your relationships with others will go well for you. There's a possibility for some of you that a third person may be the cause of some misunderstanding between you and your close relationships. So I would say avoid interacting with those who have not much relevance in your life anyways. So some of you could become popular in your social circle or through social media. Now make sure that you are well prepared and organized before you undertake any kind of travel. Otherwise, you may end up in losses due to travel. So check your itinerary, check your travel tickets, and the timing of your travel well in advance, so that you're not taking anything for granted related to travel at this time. Now, moving on to Sagittarius. Jupiter for you rules the first house and the fourth house, and it's placed in the second house for you. Now, second house is the house of finance, inheritance, family, and speech. Now, you will do well if you hire those who are experts in finance or banking industry or investment experts for your business, which will bring you huge profitability during this period. Now, this way you will be able to increase your profit and cut costs in your business because of the expert advice that you're getting. Now, those who are unemployed, This period will bring you job opportunities to find a good job, and you do not have to worry about your health during this period, except you need to be careful of your weight gain and its related issues. Now, you will be using your common sense to manage your health well. Now, problems you faced in certain relationships earlier will fade away, and you will be on your way to strengthen your relationship. Now, some of you will be forced to reflect back on the past mistakes you may have made in the relationships and fix those mistakes for you to be able to enjoy better and stronger relationships. Now, those in creative fields will find this period very beneficial and could receive some good recognition and appreciation of your work. Now, moving on to the next, which is Capricorn. Jupiter rules the 3rd and the 12th house, and it is placed in your own sign of Capricorn in the Ascendant. Now, Capricorn sign is the 10th house in the natural zodiac, or we call it Kal Purush Kundli. Now, which denotes power, status, profession, economy, and Capricorn sign shows us our boundaries. It denotes organization and structure, and Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, as we all know. Now, work that was stalled for a long time will move forward for you. Your confidence level will go up. You will get to see great improvement in your education, love life, marital life, and luck will be favoring you more than ever before. Now, if you are in business of your own, you could expect some sudden and unexpected gain or windfall during this period. And if you're into career or job, you will be recognized for your skills, your abilities, your knowledge, your perseverance to achieve your objectives. Your love partner or marital partner will support you, and your relationship with them will even become stronger. And those who are into higher education, you may come across some hurdles to fulfill your education during this period. And those of you suffering from any previous illness could find some respite, and you will see some improvements in your health during this period. Now, great time to reflect on some of the past mistakes you have made in general about the way you think about yourself. You could think about refining your personality, the way the others see you. And this is a great time to fix those mistakes, fine tune, I would say, and you will feel much better about yourself during the retrograde period of Jupiter. Aquarius. Jupiter rules the 2nd house and the 11th house, and Jupiter is placed in the 12th house for you. Now, 12th house denotes foreign travel, expenses, investments, money getting stuck due to cheating and legal issues. Now, some of you could have expenses related to your mother, property, land matter, or vehicles during this period. Now, investments in new initiatives could prove profitable if you have taken proper advice from experts, I would say. Now, those who are in career, you hold the key to the progress in your own hands. You decide, make plans, and put those ideas to work, and you are sure to see success in your career. Now, when it comes to relationship matters for you, I would say there could be some differences of opinion, fights due to that. Now, use your words carefully. Include proper exercise, good daily routine, and take up light sports activities to improve your health condition, and you will not have to worry about your health issues during this time. Now, try and keep out of any kind of stress by doing meditation. Now, the last one is Pisces. Jupiter rules the Ascendant and the 10th house and is placed in the 11th house for you. Now, 11th house is a house of income and gain, fulfillment of wishes and dreams. Now, those of you who had faced issues with gains from job in the past few months or years, I would say, you will see improvement in income gain during this period. And some of you may still have some dissatisfaction in your job, but make sure you make use of your skill, ideas, knowledge to the best of your ability at this time. And this is a great period for all entrepreneurs who are planning to do new startups. new initiatives. Your network will improve and you will stand to gain through your network of friends and acquaintances. Now, some of you have the tendency to move very fast in whatever you do. So take some time to reflect back and see what mistakes you made in the past. And this is a great opportunity for you to rectify those mistakes you may have made in the past. So do everything possible from your end to improve the relationships with your close family members, to keep them all together and happy, I would say. Now, health-wise, you will enjoy a better health during this period. So this was the overview for all the 12 signs. So hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to leave your comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.